Hey everyone! Well, we need one of those little CNN banners, breaking news.
I know, the crawl.
Yeah, crawler.
The crawl.
Yeah, exactly. Because
Yeah.
here we are to talk a little bit about some of the trade action that just occurred with the Packers. We were taping,
And it went down to I don't have a watch, but it went down to the last few
Yes,
hours.
it did.
I mean,
Yes,
the last
it did.
hour, man.
So the big news is that safety Clinton-Dix was traded to Washington.
Yes.
We haven't heard what the compensation is yet. And running back Ty Montgomery was traded to the Baltimore Ravens. So there's two big moves for the Packers at the trade deadline. Let's go with the big one first, which is Clinton-Dix. You've been around. You're professed to be a mind of a safety. You have the mind of a safety. What do you think the main reason for this was?
I think,
attitude, performance, ability, contract. The fact his contract was going to expire.
Yeah, that's a good question because if you think about a first-round draft pick that was in his rookie deal, that really technically didn't finish his rookie deal, it had to be some issues somewhere. He did an interview early in the year. He said he didn't think he was going to be back as a Green Bay Packer. Sometimes you put that in the atmosphere hoping to get an extension.
Yeah,
and
right.
then you also, and just before this weekend, it was reports that saying he was going to get traded. So you don't know who put that out there. But with all that being said, it makes you say that who do they have left? Before you're playing a Hall of Fame quarterback like Tom Brady, it'll be Whitehead and Bryce. Who backs them up? If it's Josh Jones' turn to be the guy, to give him a chance to do that, or Tramon Williams is now your other safety.
Yeah.
To get everybody on the field, because Jared Alexander and King will be your starters,
right?
And you could put Tramon at safety.
Here's an interesting thing, a couple of interesting things. One, you pointed out that Jermaine Whitehead played a ton against the Rams.
Yes, he did.
And
yes,
he played
did.
in some cases for Kentrell Bryce. And when McCarthy was asked about that, he said, "Oh, it was hot, and they were just switching." Could have been an audition.
Yes, it was
as a full-time position.
Yes.
Another interesting thing that could come of that, you mentioned Tramon Williams. They played him in the slot a whole bunch.
Yes, they did.
Almost like a safety.
Yes.
They could find some kind of a hybrid spot for him. The other is Bashaud Breeland, who they signed from Washington, who's a corner, but a big corner, who could possibly play some safety.
Yeah.
So they have some options there. Right?
Yeah, and I think that's the good thing about it. You got to be athletic, and they just got younger, but a lot of inexperience. And,
yes, yeah.
And down the stretch, you're going to understand that you're giving up something. But they seem to think that in this system, they can protect certain guys from what we call explosion plays. A team are targeting them and just launching bombs all day on the safeties. But it's going to put a lot of stress on the safeties without Clinton-Dix because, being a Pro Bowler one of the years and being kind of a household name locally, it's going to take a step back, but it does make you think that was there anything in the locker room or a performance to make people upstairs to say we need to pull this trigger now.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's similar to they did this with Josh Sitton, who wanted a new contract.
Yes.
And they just decided, you know what? We got Lane Taylor. We don't want this to be a distraction. We're going to move on.
Yep.
So they've done that before. He definitely wants a new contract. Now he'll have a chance to go ahead and earn it. I don't think he had earned a big contract in the first half of this year.
Right.
And he'll be getting his shot at it.
And the thing about it, if it was Ted Thompson, maybe things play out differently.
Maybe because it's his first-round pick.
Because it's his first-round pick.
Right.
But there's no loyalty to Gutekunst for that. So, and if it was Ted, he would have played that contract out, go get your best deal, we may match it. With this situation, if Washington does not sign him as a free agent, he's welcome to go anywhere he wants.
Right.
They're not going to franchise tag him. So, the revolving door coming back to Green Bay, but they can offer him something that they want. I think that is a steel wall. I don't think they'll do that.
Yeah.
Because if they really want to do that, they could have just kept him. So they're ready to move on from it. Again, it's going to take a hit with accountability, the veteran presence in the safety room.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
just won't really have one because Morgan Burnett is gone, Clinton-Dix is gone,
Right.
Micah Hyde is gone. Yeah. I'm just saying safety.
Very true.
Now.
Very true.
So
very true.
I was a big Evans guy, Mario Evans guy, but
he's gone too.
Yeah, he's gone. So a lot of
Breland might be that guy if they move him to safety.
Yeah,
that could.
But at this point, I don't really want to see a lot of experiment because I think that's going to make you think that we got just trial and error. That's why you just got to go with 29 and 35 and let's see what happens.
Right.
They're young enough to let them play a lot of plays. They're going to rotate in. They get faster with Whitehead. But I think to Clinton-Dix, if he's honest with himself, a lot of this probably had to do with performance as well.
Yeah, had to tackle better, didn't tackle very well, and just didn't have seemed like a good fit in Pettin's system. Just had trouble with it. So, so that's a big deal. Now, the other one, Montgomery, now there's a couple issues here. One, you just had some teammates rip him and anonymously. Now, if you're trading him, so either you're saying, your general manager is saying, well, okay, this must have been some guys who have some respect in the organization, and if they can't trust him anymore, then we can't have him on the team. The other is, okay.
You don't think that was Aaron Rodgers, do you?
I don't know. I don't know who it was. I honest to God.
Does it really matter at this point, though?
No, but it seems to me that it has to be someone significant because otherwise Gutekunst is like, well, we don't have to trade him. We'll make this up.
Yeah.
But it must have been someone of significance because now he's saying, all right, well, we can't trust this. We have veterans who don't trust him anymore.
Yeah, and I think Aaron would do a good job of getting the team back together and getting them refocused. Because after, 5 or 6 o'clock this evening, when you're home with your family, it's over, you got to move on. But you got to make sure this locker room doesn't break up because it is people that like Clinton-Dix. It is people that like Montgomery. But at the same time, what did you get back? If you can get anything back, we'll find out about Clinton-Dix, but they got a 7th-round pick in 2020 for Montgomery.
That's nothing. They gave him away, essentially. They made sure that New England didn't get him, is essentially what they did. Because New England would have picked him up.
Oh, no question. But they're having problems at running back.
Right.
And so is the Ravens. The Ravens are having a problem at running back. So now he'll get to a system that I don't know if he'll define role, but it just seems like to me that the Packers are ready to move on and declare anything bad out of the locker room that they can just have a clean slate and move forward.
And I think we're going to see Trevor Davis back.
I hope so.
I mean, they have to at this point.
Hope so.
They've got no kick returner. You don't want to use Valdez-Scantling because let him focus on wide receiver. And Tramon Williams has been taken up the punt return, and you need someone who can. That's the missing element. They're losing special teams week to week, and Trevor Davis has proven he can do that. Now he has made some bad decisions, but he's a year removed from that, and you would think the experience.
And to me, he's good enough to overcome that. The good thing about it, I have confidence that McCarthy will fix it, and he'll make sure that it won't be a distraction when they enter. And going up to New England's place, you don't need a lot of distractions there. There's enough distraction as it is, and make sure that you will have 4 interns to watch these footballs so they don't deflate them. I just had to do that. I just had to.
All right. So we did this video in place of the X's and O's, but we promise we'll be back with X's and O's next week, and we'll definitely focus on New England game and give you as much breakdown of that game as we can. So thanks for joining us for this special episode, and we'll see you next week.